My name is Sparks, and today is day 24 of our water fast, and everything should be going good for you. Day 23 was tough, and today is day 25 for me. So if you made it to day 23, it's not that uh, bad of a situation, and now it's day 24, and you're in good shape. You're on the down slope of your 30-day water fast. It's interesting that we choose 30 days because some months are 31 days. And some people have problems with day 29 because that's technically 4 weeks. So, and wives have problems with all of it because they're pricks and pretty much they want to manipulate you by giving you food, and if they can't manipulate you by giving you food and playing with your pee-pee, then obviously uh, then you notice that they ain't doing nothing. So it's a take and take situation where there's nothing going on for you, or there will never will be. Uh, I have weighed many options, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get out of my situation, but that's okay because no matter how I look at it, um, it just doesn't make any sense. But life's always like that, according to Norm Macdonald. Yeah, you're not going to get out of it. It's just going to get worse. And at this point, I'm not sure what's going on. With you, as far as water fasting is concerned, my energy came all the way back on day 24 um, to where it was on day 5. So if every 20 days you restart, so the first 4 days are terrible, and day 20 through 24 or 19 through 23 were terrible, then day 24 should be right there hammering you in. There's nothing else to say. There's no food in your system. This is based on right now is healing your organs, I suppose, and even your body looks like you're completely out of shape for being a large at this time. Large is a gigantic range of sizes, so getting to a medium is where you probably want to be weight wise, but you just assume that in 3 weeks and 2 days that you can have this muscle body, which is fine with me. I mean, you're not like me. I'm a whole different level of craziness. But I mean, I've walked around the world every single day, and I'm in much better shape than well, 99.9% of you, mentally, physically, because everything I have to pay attention to. It's not that driving is not going to prevent you from being that person, but honestly, um, not when you live in a country where there's no potholes where you can die, um, and you're not paying attention as much. Trust me, one of my favorite cities is Tijuana. So, but my problem is that the OXXO, and you can probably still see it today if you go to the OXXO in Tijuana Playa, where I normally live in LA, and you can go to the OXXO, and right outside the OXXO, right in front of the door, is a hole that you could die in with your foot. You've been there for a long time. I've never fallen in it, but other people have. So those type of things exist. Anyway, everybody's got muscle. You just have fat on top of it, and that's how it goes. So we were talking about um Simon Angus and Vietnam McDill. McDill's great. I purchased my luggage there. I still have that luggage, probably worth a couple million at this point, but it's been around the world. I don't know. Some people like to touch things. If a piece of if a stamp size image like this is worth money, then possibly something that you can touch is also worth money. Not saying that I took that luggage everywhere, but I have taken up quite a bit of my journey. Other things I own, people get really nostalgic about: shoes, underwear, everything that I've done. I've got to get in shadow boxes and other things. So anyway, I got a letter in the mail, and I have to leave the state because I just got off of a non-pending erasable felony for getting really drunk and tased by the police, and actually attached to the ball hitch of the police car and driven around the parking lot. And after that, I finally got off probation. I lived in the rich area. I moved back to my parents' house at the very end. I was going to USF also. I had moved from the rich area into Jefferson Commons. I lived in Jefferson Commons for a while, 2 different apartments, one with 3 other people, and one with one other guy who was mentally handicapped. He would gamble on the stock market all day while he was a bagger at the grocery store, and he probably made more money than you. He was completely handicapped, like mentally whatever, retarded, mentally challenged, whatever it is. That's all he did. He just did the stock market and day traded all day with his while he lived in the college housing. I went to USF by applying in person on campus, which is University of South Florida in Tampa, for electronic classes. And then I drove all the way to California when I got my letter. And while I got my letter, I had everything in my car, but it's an old car, and I had my bike attached to the back. And I was smoking weed while I was driving. I was going about 60 miles an hour the whole way. Now parts of Texas is 80, so going 60 and 80, you might get pulled over. Cop pulled behind me, and then he made me take everything out of my car. He's like, "Why are the stickers still on your bike?" I was like, "Dude, I don't ride my bike very much, and I bought it, and then I just rode it once." And he's like, "You must have stole it." I'm like, "I didn't steal this bike." And then he's running the things on the bicycle, and then he's like, "Oh, what computer is this?" Well, our college replace computers all the time, international, the IDT, because it's really expensive. So the computers are getting replaced, and I had a Mac, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta look this up, see if the serial numbers are stolen, and all this other stuff." And we're on the side of the road. It's getting really dark, and all my stuff. I mean, dogs run it, everything. I mean, the hood, everything, take apart everything, and motor, everything. Took my seats out. Trying to do sobriety tests on me. I'm like, "Dude, I'm sober." And he's like, "Would you like me to stick around while you put your stuff back in the car?" And I was like, "Of course, whatever." Because, I mean, semi-trucks are going 80 miles an hour, so that means they're all going about 90. And I'm on the side of the road. So we stick everything up. I put everything in the car, again, all my clothes, everything out. Kick it. I get to Airman Lemon's house. I go get my ID with his address. I lived on student loans and moved to Vegas. I go to Vegas, crash at Tony and Jeff's house, and they're not doing shit really. I mean, Tony's trying to generate income, and Jeff is looking for a job. So I didn't look for a job. I just played the casino hustle. So every single day I did the slot machine tournaments and and ate free buffet at the Sahara. The Sahara gave you $5 in free credit, so I was always over there. Um, I worked in the system a little bit. Once my ID came in, I went back to go get it. So I drove back to go get it, and when I went back to go get it, some girl asked for a ride in Northern California. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to LA anyway. So I drove all the way from um, Vegas to Sacramento. I picked up this girl. She said she wanted to leave where she was, and we started driving. And she was a space cadet, hippie, and she's like, "Well, I'm not going to LA." And so I was like, "I just drove all the way up here." And she's like, "Oh, you can drop me off at this gas station." So I dropped her off at the gas station, and then drove all the way to Los Angeles from down to 5. We got to LA. I went straight to Chatsworth. I knew that I wasn't going to make it. I didn't want to go anywhere else. I mean, working in the adult industry is what I wanted to do. Um, I could not make that happen right away. And I ended up in Van Nuys. I rented an office and I slept in it. When I got there, as far as it took me a minute to gather what I was doing uh, in Van Nuys, and then of course I started looking up uh, uh, the LA Hab. So we got together to see what I was going to do, and everything is there, obviously. A lot of stuff is there. The rest of it's in San Diego. Um, and it just depended on how I wanted to operate my life. And I told him I'm not driving up there. So, because a lot of it was in Palmdale in Lancaster area where all the bases are, because support, right? And I was like, I'm not driving up there. That's craziness. If you're in LA, you know what I'm talking about. So that pretty much started the journey of how I started doing spider training. But I had other issues now because I just got a ticket and I didn't want to pay it, and I wanted to fight it, but I couldn't fight it. So the ticket that I got in Texas really messed me up again because now I can't do what I want to do again until I pay a ticket. And I never got a job as far as I'm concerned. I never worked one day in Southern California besides my client. So, I mean, I can't really explain it any other way. If somebody gave me work, then I worked. But as far as working a 9 to 5, that never happened because I never could figure out how to get employment at that point. Only skill I had was being a server anyway. So and computer that just people have to have certifications in LA. So it's more or less complicated. Uh, Plus, I got suspended again for having a ticket, and that was right around the time when my other girlfriend, my ex girlfriend, arrived back in LA to see what I was doing, and kind of wasn't sure what we were going to do at that point. Talk to you tomorrow. Hey, drinking water is easy. It's just dealing with yourself. Is it sometimes if you don't drink enough water, it really is noticeable to your body. But the results aren't really worth it if because I mean you're just going to eat and get fat anyway. If you don't get into the mirror and see what you look like, then you're not going to really be of any value to yourself. You're just going to get fat again. So you really have to just keep looking at yourself in the mirror. Which I had a celebrity trainer once, and he said, just keep looking at yourself in the mirror. And then in my Eddie Sparks' Business School for Kids, Management 101, keep looking at yourself in the mirror all the time, when you're in the shower, everywhere. So it's a good principle. I mean, you are an alien. When you look into somebody's eyes, you know that they're just a stringy thing with two eyeballs. So be interesting if you could transfer your own brain. I was thinking about today. I was like, well, I've been a part of a lot of inventions and innovations and streamlining, and I've done a lot in my life, and I've seen a lot, and I've been part of a lot, and I've project managed a lot. I've seen everything happen to the point where rain can't hit you. I can stand here and rain will not touch me. I can walk through the woods. I will not get wet. I've seen people float. I've seen just about everything happen. Removing danger from everything, disappear, reappear, all sorts of different devices that were made from nothing, from no electric, just bone, just things that can get through metal detectors. But I can't sit here at this desk and not get eaten by 5 mosquitoes every single morning that I walk downstairs. Get so angry. And I certainly can't sit on that couch. And that makes me more angry because I can't relax. That means I have to go upstairs and deal with that Satan right there for no actual reason except for that's where she fucking sits every day horizontal. And it is something that you have to deal with. But you should be proud of yourself. You made it this far, and you just have to make the conscious decision to not brag about it too much. Go from there. See you.